If you have come across this message, let me tell you one thing with absolute certainty. It is neither the algorithm nor a coincidence. It is the universe responding to the question your soul quietly asked. Somewhere deep inside, in that silent corner of your heart where you began to doubt your own feelings, there is something you needed to hear today. And the fact that you are here, at this exact moment, is proof that the universe has decided it is time to answer you with clarity. You have been walking around with a calm face and a storming heart. You have kept going, pretending that everything is over, trying to convince yourself that you have turned the page, that you have accepted the distance, the silence, the separation. On the outside, you function. You laugh, you work, you talk, you carry on. But inside, a question follows you like a shadow. A question about the future of this connection, about the truth behind what you feel. It comes back in quiet moments, when you are alone. When the world becomes silent and only your heart speaks. Perhaps you have tried to silence that voice. You have told yourself that you are exaggerating, that you are too sensitive, that you are stuck in something that should have already been forgotten. You have tried to be logical, to be realistic, to listen to people who say, just move on, it's over. And yet, no matter how much you try to bury it, the connection refuses to die inside you. Their name still echoes in your mind. Their energy still lingers in your chest. And your soul, no matter how tired, still whispers, this is not finished. Today, the universe wants to remove the weight of that doubt from your heart. You are not imagining this intensity. You do not love in vain, and you do not love alone. The connection that unites you with this person is real. It is not a whim of the mind. It is not a passing fantasy. It is a bond of the soul. A bond that does not arise from superficial attraction, but from a deeper recognition, a sense that your paths were never random, that there is a reason you cannot shake this feeling no matter how hard you try. You have felt it from the beginning, the way their presence calmed something restless inside you. The way their gaze seemed to see parts of you that no one else had ever noticed. The way conversations felt familiar, as if you were continuing something that began long before this lifetime. This was never a simple encounter. It has always carried a meaning that your heart understood, even when your mind could not explain it. The central message you must keep within yourself is this: you must not give up. Not on yourself, not on your intuition, and not on the truth your soul has recognized. You are standing on the edge of a manifestation that has long been prepared for both of you. You have no idea how much energy is already moving behind the scenes in your favor. That feeling that something is about to change, that a shift is close, is not an illusion. It is your soul sensing the movement of destiny before it becomes visible to your eyes. The persistence of this story within you, the way their presence continues to live in your inner world, is not a sign of dependence or obsession. It is a sign that this connection belongs to a purpose beyond what you can analyze with logic alone. Some bonds are not meant to be understood with the mind. They are meant to be honored with the heart. And this love, as challenging and confusing as it may feel, comes from a deeply spiritual and divine place. So the first step today is simple but powerful. Stop seeing distance as failure. Stop interpreting silence as proof that you were wrong. In truth, physical distance is only an illusion. You already know this, because even in the moments when you are not speaking, you still feel them. You sense their presence in your body, in your emotions, in your thoughts. You wake up with their name on your mind without a clear reason. You feel waves of emotion that appear out of nowhere. You think of them at random times and feel a heaviness or warmth in your chest. These are not accidents. These are reflections of an energetic connection that is more alive than ever. Your soul is in constant contact with theirs. You are connected by an invisible thread, a subtle but unbreakable line of energy that neither time nor distance can cut. The emptiness you experience is not just your own. It is the mirror of the other person who, even if they do not show it, feels your absence. Destiny uses this absence as a tool, a way to awaken, to confront, to transform. This person carries your name deep within them. Even if they have turned away, even if they hide behind distractions, fears, or excuses, the universe sees what they try to conceal not only from you, but from themselves. They can deny it to others. They can try to deny it to their own mind. But their soul cannot lie. Their soul knows you. Their soul remembers you. So do not give up on what came into your life with such profound purpose. This love is not a random event that slipped through your timeline. It is not an emotional accident. It is part of a carefully woven plan. The universe does not place this kind of bond in your path just to tear it apart, meaninglessly. There is always a reason, a lesson, a transformation encoded in it. In the next moments of your journey, you will begin to see more clearly the signs, the confirmations, the small but undeniable synchronicities that show you their soul is energetically calling to you. But before you can truly understand those signs, you must anchor yourself in a simple truth. The key to this story does not lie in what you chase outwardly, but in the certainty you cultivate inwardly. Remain steadfast, not with desperate expectation, but with quiet trust. Trust that what belongs to you energetically cannot be taken away. Trust that what destiny has united on a soul level cannot be broken by silence, by pauses, by fear. Trust your intuition, that inner voice that refuses to die, the one that tells you the love is still there, even when circumstances scream the opposite. That intuition is not your enemy. It is your compass. It is the only truth you need to hold in this moment. Understand something essential now. There is someone who loves you, someone who feels you, thinks of you, remembers you in moments they cannot explain. Someone who has tried to forget you and failed. Someone who carries your presence like a quiet echo inside their chest. Even if their actions confuse you, even if their silence cuts deeply, even if their distance appears final, there exists a truth they cannot outrun. Your soul has awakened something in them that no one else ever has. And this is only the beginning of the revelation the universe wants to give you. You have recognized the authenticity of your intuition, but now you must understand the invisible reality surrounding this connection. Despite the silence, despite the distance, despite the uncertainty, you are not walking alone. The intensity you feel is not deception. It is guidance. It is confirmation. It is truth, vibrating within you with a force that will not be silenced. If the universe has brought your lives together, crossed your paths, and placed this indescribable certainty within your heart, it is because the purpose behind this connection transcends human logic. Others may not understand it, you may not fully understand it, but your soul does. And your soul has never been confused. Perhaps you have felt at times that this connection demands more from you than you receive. You have wondered if you are holding on to something dissolving, fading, escaping from your hands. But this is an illusion of perception, created by fear, by past wounds, by moments of exhaustion. The truth is much deeper. You are being guided, and the universe would never plant a love of such magnitude in your heart, only to abandon you in uncertainty when your heart keeps returning to the same person. It is not because your mind deceives you. It is because your soul remembers. Your soul sees what your eyes cannot. Your soul recognizes the purpose. This connection does not arise from impulse. It arises from a bond that existed long before physical life, a bond the universe continues to nurture even when you doubt, even when circumstances contradict your hopes. Ask yourself honestly, why does this story still live within you? Why does their name refuse to fade no matter how much time passes? Why does this connection resist breaking even when logic tells you to let go? The answer is not romantic fantasy. It is spiritual truth, because it is more alive than you think. What belongs to you on an energetic level cannot disappear. It may shift, pause, transform, stretch, but it does not break. What destiny has united cannot be undone by human fear or temporary confusion. That is why the feeling inside you persists. That is why the memory vibrates in your chest. That is why your heart refuses to close the door completely. There is a vast difference between what your eyes see and what your soul perceives. Your eyes see someone who appears distant. Your eyes see silence, hesitation, maybe even coldness. But the universe whispers, do not be deceived by appearances. Inside this person, feelings exist that bear your name. Feelings too strong to articulate, too raw to expose, too powerful to rationalize. Love of this depth does not always express itself in straightforward ways. Sometimes it hides. Sometimes it fears. Sometimes it freezes. This person may have withdrawn, not because they stopped caring, but because the intensity of this connection overwhelmed them. They feel more than they can explain, more than they can control, more than their past has prepared them for. And when a soul encounters something that profound, the human reaction is often retreat. Not rejection, retreat. They feel your absence more than you realize. They notice it in the quiet moments, in the evenings when the world slows down, in the mornings when they wake and something feels missing. They notice it when a song plays, when your name appears unexpectedly, when they stumble upon a memory, when they see a photo they still cannot delete. There are moments when they stop in the middle of their day because something inside them tightens, your energy brushing against theirs. These are not coincidences. These are proofs of an active spiritual bond. But let us go deeper now. How can you know that this connection is truly active right now? How does the universe reveal the truth to you before the physical world catches up? The first tangible sign is emotional telepathy. This does not come from imagination or desire. It comes from the exchange of energy between two souls that remain connected. This person is not absent because they do not care. They are absent because they do not know how to handle the magnitude of what they feel. Some souls love so deeply that they freeze in fear. They withdraw to process, to breathe, to understand the storm happening within them. While you wonder if everything has stopped, the universe shows you the opposite. Nothing has stopped, everything is moving. Only in the invisible realm first. Their emotions travel through the invisible thread between you and manifest in your inner world. That sudden sadness you feel without a reason, it is theirs. That unexpected longing, that sharp emotional wave that hits you from nowhere, also theirs. The warmth in your chest, the sudden ache, the rush of tenderness, the melancholy, they are echoes of their thoughts and feelings sent through the energetic bond. Another clear sign is sudden, vivid memories that appear out of nowhere. Not random memories, but ones that touch the heart. This is not imagination. This is the universe aligning your awareness with their emotional state. When they think of you, your soul feels it instantly. Sometimes it manifests physically, warmth in your face or chest when they feel affection, a chill or sudden emptiness in your stomach when they fall into fear. This is the invisible communication of the bond. Music becomes a messenger too. A song that reminds you of them appears at the perfect moment. Lyrics that echo your story find their way to you. Melodies follow you as if insisting that you listen. These signs are not accidental. They are proof that the connection is alive. They confirm what your intuition has been telling you all along. You are still connected because your souls have not separated. There are nights when they think of you just before sleep, and you feel the heaviness or the warmth in your chest. There are days when a memory of you pulls at them so strongly they cannot ignore it. The universe witnesses these moments even when they hide them from you. So if your intuition has grown stronger lately, if something inside you feels that movement is happening on a spiritual level, listen to that feeling. Your soul is not confused, it is receiving. This is not obsession. This is resonance. This is destiny revealing itself. The universe is working in ways you cannot yet see. And the connection you feel is the proof that everything is unfolding exactly as it is meant to. The universe has shown you that what you feel is not illusion, but certainty. Yet a deeper question now rises. Within your heart, one you may not have dared to fully ask, why does this bond endure with such force? Why does it resist fading, even when time passes, even when logic argues against it, even when circumstances seem impossible? The answer is not found on the surface. It lies in the realm of the soul, in what many call the destiny plan, or the soul agreement formed long before your paths crossed in this lifetime. This connection is not accidental. It was never a fleeting attraction, or a random encounter, meant to dissolve at the first sign of trouble. No, this connection was written into your spiritual blueprint. It was woven into your journey long before you met. Some souls meet to learn. Others meet to release, but rare connections, like yours, meet to awaken, to transform, to fulfill a purpose larger than either of you fully understands. This is why all attempts to forget have failed. This is why the emotional thread remains attached. This is why the connection feels alive even in silence. When two souls share a destiny contract, the universe does not allow a final separation until the purpose of that connection has been fulfilled. You may take space. You may go through silence. You may experience fear, avoidance, confusion, longing. But the bond does not dissolve. It simply stretches, breathes, reorganizes until the moment both souls are ready to meet again with the clarity they once lacked. This is your proof. What is human can break. What is destined resists. The universe would never give you a love of such magnitude only to abandon you halfway through its unfolding. Your heart does not hold this person out of weakness. It holds them because your soul recognizes something your eyes cannot yet see clearly. This connection is part of your spiritual evolution. This is why their name does not fade. This is why you continue to feel their presence. This is why every attempt to let go ends with your heart circling back. Not out of desperation, but out of alignment. It is like an energetic anchor that attaches you to truth. It pulls you toward what belongs to you, even when your mind questions it. The universe uses this anchor to guide you, to bring you toward growth, toward understanding, toward a deeper form of love than the world usually teaches. And here is something you must understand. What feels like confusion is often only the mind, struggling to understand the language of the soul. What feels like silence is often movement in a higher dimension. What feels like pause is often preparation. Because in the plan of destiny there is no confusion, only necessary phases. The universe does not separate you to punish you, but to prepare both of you. If silence exists now, it is not the ending. It is an energetic recalibration. A space created so that the other person can face what they have long avoided. Destiny is working on them, not to pull them away from you, but to make them capable of truly meeting you. You are not meant to receive someone half-healed, half-aware, half-present. You are meant for a conscious connection, a mature connection, a connection that does not collapse under the weight of insecurity or fear. This is why the silence feels so heavy, not because love has died, but because transformation is underway. To understand this transformation, we must enter the inner world of the other person, what you cannot see, but what the universe has witnessed clearly. They are experiencing emotional intensity that they never expected. You awaken something vast inside them, something they did not know how to hold, something that surpassed all previous experiences. You, through your depth, through your presence, through the soul connection you embody, touched layers of their heart they had buried long ago. You stirred feelings they did not know they were capable of. You opened doors they had kept locked for years. And for souls who have been wounded, who have known betrayal, disappointment, abandonment, such deep emotional recognition can feel dangerous. Their silence is not about you. Their silence is about fear. Fear of vulnerability. Fear of losing control. Fear of being hurt again. Fear of surrendering to something so powerful it could break every wall they spent years building. This silence is not a sign of absence. It is the sound of their fear trying to protect them. Like a wounded animal that retreats when touched too deeply, they withdrew to understand what they feel, to breathe again, to process the enormity of this bond. You must understand that to them, this love feels like fire and oxygen at the same time. It warms them, awakens them, heals them, but it also reveals their insecurities and exposes their emotional wounds. And because of this, they instinctively pull back not to reject you, but to regain a sense of control over emotions they have never mastered. Inside them now there is a battle unfolding. Their ego says, protect yourself, distance yourself, stay safe. But their soul calls your name. Their soul longs for the peace they felt in your presence. Their soul knows the truth they cannot admit out loud. Silence is the battlefield where this conflict plays out. But the universe is not passive during this time. Within their silence, destiny is at work. The universe is orchestrating circumstances that constantly remind them of you, things that echo your energy, memories that return uninvited, moments that force them to realize that what they feel for you cannot be replaced or denied. The absence of your energy becomes a burning emptiness for them. They try to distract themselves, bury themselves in routine, numb themselves with noise, but the universe does not allow the illusion to hold. Everything they try only intensifies their awareness of the loss of your presence. So when you are tempted to interpret their silence as lack of love, pause. Their silence is not rejection. It is a mirror of their inner struggle. The universe is dissolving their ego layer by layer. Every pattern that once protected them is breaking. Every wall they built is weakening. Every fear is rising to be confronted. This process is not gentle, but it is sacred. It is the dark night of their soul, a deep inner transformation, meant to free them from old wounds so they can meet you without fear, without armor, without doubt. They are not being punished. They are being refined. And you, through your strength, through your patience, through your spiritual awareness, are also being shaped. You are learning to love without losing yourself. You are learning to remain calm without needing constant reassurance. You are learning the language of trust, the frequency of surrender, the vibration of soul-led faith. You and this person are being prepared simultaneously, guided by an unseen hand that knows exactly what each of you needs to heal before reunion can occur. This story is not paused. It is transforming. It is deepening. It is aligning. And what emerges from this phase will be unlike anything either of you have experienced before. A connection reborn from clarity, healed wounds, and awakened souls. This period of separation is not a one-sided journey. While the universe works on their fears, it also heals yours. You are learning to stand in your own energy, to love without clinging, to desire without collapsing into need, to trust even when your eyes see no visible proof. Destiny is shaping both paths at the same time, preparing the two of you to meet in a form that neither of you was capable of when this connection first ignited. They are being taught courage. You are being taught calm. They are learning to face their emotions. You are learning to rest in your truth. This is why the pause existed. This is why the universe allowed silence, because what comes next must be built on wholeness, not fear, on clarity, not confusion, on awareness, not old patterns. The transformation happening now is the foundation for the love that will return to you in a stronger, more conscious, more stable form. But to fully understand this sacred unfolding, you must see what the other soul is fighting against. Their silence and distance are not acts of coldness. They are the expression of an ego armor that was built over years, long before you ever appeared in their life. This armor is their shield, their survival strategy, their wall against vulnerability. Yet the love you hold, so profound and so pure, acts as a mirror of their own light. For a person with unresolved wounds, such a reflection can be terrifying. Not because they reject your love, but because it forces them to confront parts of themselves they've avoided for years. Your presence awakens their authenticity, exposes their fears, reveals the depth of what they feel. And the moment this awakening begins, the ego reacts, hard, fast, instinctively. The true source of their fear does not lie in you. It lies in their past. They fear repeating old pain. They fear falling deeply and losing everything. They fear giving their heart and watching it break again. This is why the universe has led them into what many call a dark night of the soul, a period of intense internal cleansing, emotional upheaval, and spiritual awakening. In this phase, they cannot escape themselves. They are forced to face the wounds they avoided, the fears they suppressed, the patterns they repeated. They must confront their shadows to become capable of receiving the connection that destiny has placed before them. This darkness is not punishment. It is purification, a sacred fire burning away past hurt so they may return whole, a transformation that cannot be rushed or bypassed. They are shedding old beliefs, old defenses, old fears, old versions of themselves. And while they move through this inner battlefield, you are undergoing your own evolution. You are learning to remain grounded, to trust your path, to live from fullness rather than longing. The universe does not want you to wait in a state of emptiness. It wants you to expand, to grow, to rediscover your own power so that when the reunion comes, it meets two souls standing in wholeness, not two wounded hearts trying to save each other. This period has shaped you into someone wiser, more intuitive, more self-aware. What used to shake you no longer breaks you. What once consumed your thoughts now feels manageable. You are rising into a version of yourself that can hold love without fear, without anxiety, without losing your center. And your growth is the very energy that accelerates the reunion. Because in the spiritual world, clarity attracts, certainty attracts, stability attracts. When one soul reaches alignment, the other feels it instantly. Your calm becomes a lighthouse in their storm. Your steady energy becomes the signal their soul longs to return to. But here lies one of the most important truths of this entire journey. Doubt slows the manifestation while trust accelerates it. When you send out fear, longing, desperation, or impatience, the universe interprets it as a message. I am not ready yet. But when you stand in trust, even without seeing the full picture, you send a completely different signal. I am aligned. I am steady. I am prepared. And that signal is magnetic. It draws in what belongs to you with twice the speed. This is where the law of magnetic detachment unfolds. The universe responds not to desperation, but to openness. Not to clutching, but to allowing. Not to chasing, but to trusting. Understand this deeply. Detachment does not mean giving up. Detachment means releasing the fear that tries to force a timeline. Every time you check their social media, wait anxiously for a message, or wonder what they are doing, you energetically chase them. And chasing pushes them away, not physically but energetically. It creates resistance. It blocks the flow. But when you return your energy to yourself, your life, your growth, your peace, you shift into a frequency of openness. You become a magnet. You stop emitting lack and start radiating abundance. This is when everything begins to move. This is when destiny starts revealing itself. This is when the connection finally breathes freely. They do not return because you demanded it. They return because your energy becomes clear, enough for their soul to recognize its home. And this is exactly where the universe wants you now, in a state of trust, radiance, and inner stability. But to understand why the universe chose this path, why this separation had to exist, you must see the deeper wisdom behind it. If the connection is so meaningful, why allow a break? Why allow silence? Why allow pain? Because this pause is not punishment. It is activation. It is initiation. It is the moment destiny uses to mature both souls so that when the reunion comes, it is not fragile. The love you share carries a level of intensity that would have collapsed under immaturity. The universe knew this. The separation was protection, an energetic boundary meant to ensure that this connection survives, evolves, and becomes what it is meant to be. The first purpose of the pause was maturity. You both had old patterns, wounds, expectations, and fears clouding the purity of the bond. You needed space to see yourselves clearly, to break cycles, to rise into emotional adulthood. The second purpose was transformation. Destiny does not want a repeat of the past. It wants a rebirth, a new version of the connection built on consciousness, stability, and awareness. Through absence, both of you have come to understand the true value of what exists between you. The third purpose was recognition. The other soul needed to realize that what they felt for you was not replaceable, not forgettable, not casual, and the universe ensured that every attempt to replace you would fail. Every distraction would fall short. Every escape would collapse. This pause is an act of divine protection. It is the universe saying, I will not allow this connection to be destroyed by fear or immaturity. I will separate you for a time, but not forever. I will heal you both in different rooms, so that when you meet again, it is with clarity, not confusion. I will preserve this bond until you are ready to carry it. The pain you feel is temporary. The understanding born from it is eternal. The love that returns will be deeper, safer, clearer, and more enduring than anything either of you has known. This is the preparation before the miracle. The inhale before the return. This is when everything begins to move. This is when destiny starts revealing itself. This is when the connection finally breathes freely. They do not return because you demanded it. They return because your energy becomes clear, enough for their soul to recognize its home. And this is exactly where the universe wants you now, in a state of trust, radiance, and inner stability. But to understand why the universe chose this path, why this separation had to exist, you must see the deeper wisdom behind it. If the connection is so meaningful, why allow a break? Why allow silence? Why allow pain? Because this pause is not punishment. It is activation. It is initiation. It is the moment destiny uses to mature both souls so that when the reunion comes, it is not fragile. The love you share carries a level of intensity that would have collapsed under immaturity. The universe knew this. The separation was protection, an energetic boundary meant to ensure that this connection survives, evolves, and becomes what it is meant to be. The first purpose of the pause was maturity. You both had old patterns, wounds, expectations, and fears clouding the purity of the bond. You needed space to see yourselves clearly, to break cycles, to rise into emotional adulthood. The second purpose was transformation. Destiny does not want a repeat of the past. It wants a rebirth, a new version of the connection built on consciousness, stability, and awareness. Through absence, both of you have come to understand the true value of what exists between you. The third purpose was recognition. The other soul needed to realize that what they felt for you was not replaceable, not forgettable, not casual, and the universe ensured that every attempt to replace you would fail. Every distraction would fall short. Every escape would collapse. This pause is an act of divine protection. It is the universe saying, I will not allow this connection to be destroyed by fear or immaturity. I will separate you for a time, but not forever. I will heal you both in different rooms, so that when you meet again, it is with clarity, not confusion. I will preserve this bond until you are ready to carry it. The pain you feel is temporary. The understanding born from it is eternal. The love that returns will be deeper, safer, clearer, and more enduring than anything either of you has known. This is the preparation before the miracle. The inhale before the return. Now that magnetic detachment has shifted. The energy in the other soul has reached the peak of their inner awakening. The moment arrives when the invisible begins to take shape. The universe has promised you that this separation is temporary, and now you are entering the phase where spiritual truth begins to crystallize into physical reality. What was once hidden in the emotional and energetic realms is preparing to express itself in ways you can see, sense, and recognize. The first unmistakable sign of this nearing reunion is the rise of true inner telepathy, not the subtle emotional echoes you felt before, but clearer, stronger, more direct waves of connection. Thoughts of this person appear vividly and suddenly, not as vague memories, but as moments that feel alive, almost as if they are speaking to you without words. Emotional surges come like tides, washing over you with warmth, tenderness, or longing. This happens because their soul has stopped resisting, because their heart has stopped running, because their energy is flowing toward you again, openly, willingly, without the walls that once blocked its path. When they think of you with softness, you feel it as warmth in your chest. When they remember something shared, you sense a pull in your heart. When they wonder about you before falling asleep, you feel a sudden heaviness or an unexplained stirring. Your souls are communicating again, not in imagination but in truth. Their emotions are reaching you in their pure form because they are no longer trying to suppress what they feel. Pay attention to the timing of these sensations, especially the moments when you wake up suddenly for no reason or when you feel their presence as if they are near you. These moments often align with instances when their soul is wide open, thinking of you, longing for you, healing through the memory of you. Another sign is synchronicity. The universe begins to speak loudly through patterns that appear repeatedly. 1111, spiritual alignment and manifestation. 222, duality, reunion, balance between two energies. 444, protection and stability around the connection. 555, change, movement, transformation. 777, spiritual reward, destiny unfolding. These numbers follow you not accidentally but intentionally. They appear when your energy aligns with the unfolding of the divine plan. They are confirmations that the invisible work is complete and the physical world is beginning to rearrange itself around the next chapter of this connection. The third sign is the collapse of fear within the other soul. This is one of the most powerful shifts in the entire journey. They reach a threshold where the pain of separation becomes greater than the fear of vulnerability. The emptiness they feel without you becomes heavier than the risk of loving again. Running no longer makes sense. Denying no longer brings peace. The silence that once felt protective now feels suffocating. This is the moment destiny has been preparing. The moment when the soul pushes past the ego. The moment when love becomes stronger than fear. Their heart begins to crave what once frightened them. Their spirit begins to crave the connection that once overwhelmed them. They begin to see clearly that avoiding you was not healing, but hiding. They realize that life without you is not freedom, but loss. This is not weakness. It is awakening. When they reach this point, the universe amplifies the magnetic pull between you. You may feel sudden peace, a shift in your intuition, or a strange certainty that something is approaching. And you are right, because at this stage, the reunion becomes not only possible, but inevitable. Then comes the fourth phase, sudden clarity. This is the moment the dark night of their soul ends and truth emerges with undeniable force. Confusion drops away. Fear dissolves. Emotional fog lifts. You will feel this clarity even before they speak it. It arrives as a wave of calm, an inner knowing, a quiet but powerful certainty that something has shifted. Their return will not come with half words, hesitation, or ambiguity. They will speak differently, act differently, show up differently, because this time they come not from longing alone, but from alignment. Not from fear, but from awakening. Not from avoidance, but from acceptance of their truth. The universe did not allow the separation for you to repeat old patterns. It allowed it so that both souls could meet again on higher ground. Destiny does not rush, but it never fails. It has been aligning every event, every feeling, every silence, every sign to bring you to this moment of clarity. And now you must understand something profoundly important. You are not waiting for the universe. The universe is already moving through you. Your heart has traveled from doubt to recognition, from confusion to clarity, from fear to trust. You now understand this bond is not obsession but purpose, not fantasy but soul agreement. The silence was not abandonment but healing. The longing was not punishment but preparation. Your final task is to hold your center, to remain in your fullness, to continue elevating your vibration. Do not wait in stillness, live. Do not shrink in expectation, expand. Do not pause your life, glow in it. When this person returns, they must meet you as the version of yourself that has emerged through this journey, calm, confident, radiant, whole. Not someone who clung to love, but someone who grew into love. Someone who learned to stand strong in their intuition, in their heart, in their destiny. They will return not because you needed them, but because the soul they tried to forget became the soul they cannot live without. And when they come back, it will not be the same love. It will be deeper, clearer, more reciprocal, more stable, more conscious. Love that has survived silence and distance becomes love that is unbreakable. Destiny has promised. What the universe unites cannot be broken, not by fear, not by time, not by silence. There may be pauses but never endings. There may be distance but never disconnection. There may be silence but never emptiness, because the invisible thread between your souls cannot be torn. They will be guided back to you, not by your longing, but by the gravity of destiny, by the lessons learned in absence, by the clarity born in darkness, by the love that refused to die. When they return, open your heart with wisdom. Receive them with the strength you have built. Do not let old doubt cast shadows on new truth. Do not let fear rewrite the certainty destiny has carved for you. You are standing on the threshold of your miracle. Do not turn back now. Trust the process you cannot see. Trust the signs that surround you. Trust the love you feel. Trust the universe that has never made a mistake with your heart. Take a deep breath. Feel the certainty flowing through you. Whisper with peace in your soul. My destiny is manifesting. What is mine already bears my name. Because what approaches now is not confusion, but clarity. Not distance, but reunion. Not longing, but fulfillment. The universe is unfolding your story exactly as it was meant to be.